Hi guys, today we're going to talk about the first page of the ELA packet, which talks about homographs. So if you're not sure what to do on that page, hopefully this will help you. Okay, so homographs are words that are written the same. Homo means same and graphs means writing. So homographs are words that are written the same, so they look the same when you write them. Sometimes they sound the same, sometimes they're a little bit different, but they always mean two different things. Alright, so they're written the same, but they could mean two different things. And the word I always think of when I think of homographs is bat. Okay, so bat is always written B-A-T, but it can mean, and I'm sorry, you know I'm a horrible drawer, it can mean a bat like a baseball bat or a bat like the animal. So the same word, bat, can mean this kind of bat, right? Or it can mean the bat that like Batman was named after. See him? Little bat guy? Okay?
Bat guy.
So it's written the same, but it means bat or bat. Alright? The example they give in the packet is wind. So at the top of the packet, it gives you the example of this word, wind. This one can actually be said two different ways. So it's either wind or wind, depending on what it means. So they might be talking about the wind that blows outside. So in the packet, it gives the example, the definition of air moving, okay? They're talking about the wind that blows outside. But then, number two meaning means to go along a twisty path or to wrap something. So if you think about wind, the wind blowing outside, or if you say wind, you could mean winding up the ramp at school, or winding the ribbon like this, okay, that's wind. So how do you know whether they're talking about the air blowing, the wind, or the winding up the ramp? Well, you have to look at that word in the sentence. So context clues, right guys? So the examples they give in the packet is, a brisk wind blew, so I buttoned my coat. So if you're buttoning up your coat, that's because the air outside is blowing, right? This air is blowing outside, okay? The second one is, then I began to wind my way down the hill to the village. So that's following the twisty path, all right? So what you have to do in the packet is down here, the first things they say are to read the passage. You find the underlined words, which are homographs, those words that look the same but mean different things, okay? And you have to look them up in a dictionary. Now, you might not have a dictionary at home. So, if you don't, Google Dictionary. You just type in Google Dictionary. Looks like this, okay? So, the first word that they give in the packet is loaf, okay? So you see loaf right there? When I type in loaf, it comes up with this first. That loaf means a quantity of bread that is shaped and baked in one piece. Okay, so that's the little one right there. That's the first meaning of loaf. The second meaning of loaf, if you scroll down, see there's a little 2 next to that one? The second meaning of loaf says to idle one's time away, and under synonyms it says laze. Alright, so like laze around. Alright, so the first meaning of loaf meant a chunk of bread, right? A big slab of bread. The second meaning of loaf meant to laze around or idle one's time away. Okay? So you have to figure out in the paragraph whether they're talking about this loaf or that loaf. Alright, to laze around. So, let's see if we can figure it out. The village was a perfect place to loaf for a few hours. So if you're in a village and you're hanging around, are you turning into this? Or are you doing
Hola.
that? You're doing that, right? So that first sentence, the village was a perfect place to loaf for a few hours. Right above that loaf, you would write be lazy or laze around or sit around, whatever meaning you want to use, okay? The second sentence with loaf says, I bought a fresh loaf of bread at the bakery near the beach. So that one, they're talking about the loaf of bread, okay?
Why?
So you might, next to this kind of loaf, write shaped chunk of bread, okay? That's the loaf of bread, all right? They give you a few more you have to do on your own. So dove, present, and wound or wound, all right? So you're going to look those up, figure out which meaning is which, and just put a little note above it. All right? You can definitely do that. And if you don't have a dictionary, look on Google Dictionary, okay? On the back, they give you the meanings, all right? So they give you the meanings. You just have to figure out which meaning they're using in that sentence. So the first one is port. You have to figure out whether they're talking about a harbor, left of the ship, a valve, or a person's manner, all right? And I am always available. Your teachers are always available on Class Dojo or email, or I have a Google number for those people who I sent that to. So, all right, good luck, guys.